You know, when I made those couple of videos about pull-ups not being as good, obviously a lot of people are like, oh, outrageous. And I remember being in that camp as well myself, thinking that, you know, pull-ups, they pump your lats up, blah, 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 blah. It's not just about pumping your lats up or whatever else you want to call it. It's how you pump those lats up. You know, with the pull-up, there's less emphasis in shoulder depression. And there's more emphasis in like getting to the bar. So the shoulder gets up like this. You finish your pull-up like this, right? With rows, you don't finish like this. You don't finish like this. With a row, you finish like this, low. Or even if you're doing it high, you kind of finish in a nice position, short position. And when it comes to strength, getting tight is freaking everything. On the bench press, you're trying to get tight. You're not trying to get long on the bench press. Deadlift, same thing. Packing your shoulders into the back pockets, right? Getting tight. In the squat, it's maintaining that tightness in the upper back. What do pull-ups do? Pull-ups are promoting this like really long position. Great for bodybuilding, great. But then at the peak contraction, there's this instability. Like you can finish your pull-up and you could, you know, not finish it where you are tight. You can finish it up here. You know, even if you're doing a freaking thing over the bar, right? Like the muscle up. This is what's happening. And so it's like this unpacked position, which once again, if your bodybuilding is your thing, do that. But if strength is your thing, it's about tightness. And you don't want to just do any old work just to get the muscle pumped. You want to do work that's going to carry over to that sensation of you getting tight. That's why not all core exercises are created equal as well. Some exercises are, you're not tight, you're not resisting a force that you would see in some of these big three lifts, right? If you think about, you know, you getting punched by Mike Tyson in the guts, right? Like that's a famous one. You don't do some of the things that people do in core exercises. You know what I mean? But if I was to give you a pair of really, really heavy dumbbells, and I said to you, go farm and carry that shit across the yard, and you're carrying that shit, and I come up and hit you, that is that posture that we need, right? Oh, but farmer's carries is not core. Really? A loaded carry is not core, but a sit-up is. Or a hanging leg raise is. Interesting perspective. So you think it is more beneficial to hang off a bar, do core, than it is to be axially loaded and clenching that core. All the movements that we do in these movements, we are loaded. Our body is loaded. We're not hanging. And so anytime you're hanging, I just feel like you're not really mimicking that what you need to mimic. So this is why like I still stand by it, man. Like if you want to see the best core exercises ever, in my opinion that I've ever tried, is do like super, super high pin squats. Super, super high pin squats, right? So like set up the safeties that are like basically at this level here. And so when you get underneath it, you're squatting the bar this much. Dude, I've loaded up to 300 fucking kilos, man. Load up the bar at 300 kilos. So like at the time, my max was like 210, whatever it was. I could move 300 kilos. Just standing there with the fucking bar on my back. I cannot explain to you the amount of tension I had to create in my body to have 300 kilos on my back, moving it just fucking an inch. Like I can't explain to you. Like I woke up the next day and I felt like somebody, like I wrestled Nurmagomedov. Nurmagomedov I wrestled. I wrestled a fucking bear, a 300 kilo bear I wrestled. That's what it felt like. And now imagine this. Imagine if I took that fucking weight somehow, I mean, I can't do it here, and I took like 10 steps with 300 fucking kilos, man. I'm sorry, dude, but there is no one that can explain to me that that is not more beneficial for core than a Russian fucking twist. It's just completely different. And so when you see somebody that has done ab training for years and they're like really, who's done like Russian twists and hanging leg raises and they're like all these obliques popping out and all this shit. And they've done all of that stuff by hanging on a bar and just waving their legs around and whatever. Don't get me wrong, they're very, very specifically strong for that. But if you were to put some serious weight on their back, they would crumble. Because some of these structures, it's specificity. I always come back to specificity. You can't mimic having 300 kilos on your back, dude. It's fucking impossible. So that shit, always come back to the specificity. If you're dancing like a ballerina, dancing around and you're holding your leg up this way and that way and whatever, like you're doing martial arts and your legs are splaying everywhere, like you got such great control of your legs, that is different to having weight on your fucking spine and you walking with that shit. It's just different. It's how you breathe under heavy load. It's how you Valsalva maneuver that shit. A lot of these things that I'm talking about, you're not really going, you're not doing that, right? You know what I mean? And so when people say, get ready to hit by Mike Tyson in the guts, what we're trying to tell you is fill the gut with air. You don't do that shit when you're doing hanging leg raises. You're not filling the gut up like someone's gonna hit you. You're just trying to move the limbs. And that is different. And this is where people get caught out with some of this stuff. You know, weight is the most important thing in all of this. Of course, you can have periods where you're training other qualities and whatever, but the ultimate is the core. Now, obviously, you can't do 300 kilo pin squats every single day. That is very, very heavy and very, very taxing. But that is the true specificity of what we're trying to do. And then trying to mimic that to even deeper levels, deeper ranges of motion, that is what carries over. And so people are like, what do you do for your core? I squat every day, dude. How's that core? Dude, I put 180 kilos on my back and I put my ass on the ground and get up with it. That's not core? So you think your sit-ups is more valuable than 180 kilo squat? Interesting. Interesting perspective.